We'll pray, woman. No! Pray to Jesus for our lost sinning souls.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 over-the-top horror acting performances.
Well, I'll get your stupid paper, but you just better start showing me a little more appreciation around here, Mr. Man.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most exaggerated performances in horror movies. We're not using over-the-top to mean bad necessarily, just extremely theatrical. We'll be mentioning some major plot points, so a spoiler warning is in effect. What did you make of these performances? Tell us as dramatically as possible in the comments. Number 10. Al Pacino, The Devil's Advocate. Al Pacino certainly knows how to chew the scenery and often plays larger-than-life figures with big emotions.
You'll thank me in the morning.
You ain't right, man.
Oh, I'm right. You'll see.
In the case of The Devil's Advocate, he portrays Satan himself. Pacino hams it up as the devil, giving the role the exaggerated personality that it deserves. He shouts at the top of his lungs and delivers fiery, grandiose monologues.
In spite of all his imperfections, I'm a fan of man! I'm a humanist.
His magnified performance is made even starker next to Keanu Reeves, who gives a typically more reserved performance. It's a match made in movie heaven, leading to some gripping scenes in an otherwise mediocre movie.
Better to reign in hell than serve in heaven, is that it?
Why not? I'm here on the ground with my nose in it since the whole thing began.
Number 9. Crispin Glover, Willard. Crispin Glover has a distinct personality and acting style.
All my life I could smell mice.
Smell mice?
Often seen as eccentric, Glover was the perfect choice to play Willard Stiles. The title character is more than a little odd and eventually turns evil when he starts controlling a colony of flesh-eating rats. Glover gives a great performance, coming across as suitably kooky.
The terms of your purchase contract, they strictly state that you are not allowed to sell
me. Get you a goddamn lawyer and sue me, you.
That said, the movie often borders on parody. Willard is the prototypical outcast, both in looks and personality, and Glover minds the character for all its hammy worth. Watching him is a ton of fun.
Sit down.
Now you listen to me, Willard.
Sit down!
Number 8. Piper Laurie, Carrie. Carrie's mother, Margaret, might not be the main character in Brian De Palma's adaptation of Stephen King's epistolary novel.
Take off that dress. Now, we'll burn it together and pray for forgiveness.
But actress Piper Laurie sure does put Margaret front and center. A religious fanatic obsessed with sin, Margaret spends a lot of her time on screen praying, screaming, or abusing her daughter.
You're a woman now.
Why didn't you tell me, Mama?
While Laurie received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress, she never took the film or her character very seriously. She initially thought Margaret was so over the top the movie must be a satire and would laugh between takes.
Now, the devil is come home. We'll pray.
Number 7. Jeff Goldblum, The Fly. David Cronenberg's The Fly is a body horror masterpiece, following a scientist who gradually turns into a humanoid insect.
Does this look sick? Does this look like a sick man to you?
No! Stop it!
Know any sick men who can do that?
It's B-movie material, but it's elevated thanks to strong direction, Oscar-winning special effects, and a great lead performance.
We come together there. You, me, and the baby.
Gleefully over the top, Jeff Goldblum bellows, slams tables, and throws himself wholeheartedly into Frankenstein-esque monologues about nature and insect politics. It's somehow goofy and compelling at the same time. But then again, that's kind of Goldblum's forte.
Have you ever heard of insect politics? Neither have I.
Number 6. Matthew Lillard, Scream. Casting Matthew Lillard as one of the villains in Scream was a brilliant move.
How do you gut someone?
You take a knife and you slit him from groin to sternum.
No one would suspect Lillard's character, Goofy Stu Macher, of being a murderer. He's likable, funny, and even a little kooky. Yet in the end, it's revealed that Stu was working with his buddy Billy the whole time.
You're crazy, both of you.
Actually, you prefer the term psychotic.
Even during the shocking reveal and bloody climax, it's hard to take him seriously. Lillard is clearly having the time of his life, putting on silly voices, cracking jokes, and toying with Sydney like a kitten batting a mouse. He comes across as genuinely unhinged, and it's glorious to watch.
It's a fun game, Sydney. See, we ask you a question, and if you get it wrong, booga! You die.
Number 5. Nicolas Cage, The Wicker Man. Nicolas Cage has made a career out of over-the-top roles.
I'm only interested in the law, sister. And I need to remind you, you are still within reach of the powers of a normal society.
This has worked well when paired with the right character. But Edward Malice in the 2006 remake of The Wicker Man was not one of those characters. As always, Cage commits 100% to the role.
How did you burn? How did you burn?
I don't know!
But the result is a B-movie character in a horror film that tries to play it straight, and the contrast doesn't do anyone any favors. Cage's most outlandish scenes have become memes, and for good reason. They're utterly hilarious. The bees, indeed.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
Number 4. Bette Davis. Whatever happened to Baby Jane? This film from director Robert Aldrich expertly toes the line between psychological horror and camp, with the latter coming through in Bette Davis's outlandish performance.
Just that nosy Mrs. Bates going on about your picture last night.
Oh, really? Did she like it?
She plays the titular Baby Jane Hudson, a former child star who has become an alcoholic. Believing herself responsible for a car accident that left her sister Blanche paraplegic, the guilt-ridden and resentful Jane torments her sister, relishing her condition.
But you are, Blanche. You are in that chair. And tell me, what are these awful things I'm supposed to be doing to you?
Davis chewed the scenery to a 10th Oscar nomination for Best Actress. Jane is the poster child for insane characters, and it's all thanks to Davis's enthusiastic performance.
I didn't forget your breakfast. I didn't bring your breakfast because you didn't eat your did.
Number 3. Kathy Bates, Misery. Stephen King sure knows how to write over-the-top characters.
Sometimes I get so worked up. Can you ever forgive me?
One of his greatest creations is Annie Wilkes, a deranged fan of author Paul Sheldon. Annie houses Paul after a car accident and forces him to rewrite the ending to his beloved Misery series.
I don't want her dead! I want her! And you murdered her!
Infantile and entitled, she flies into aggressive tantrums in ways that are meant to exaggerate the obsessed fan trope. Bates is spectacular in the role, expertly shifting from kind and caring to completely psychotic. It's no wonder she took home the Oscar for Best Actress.
God, I love you.
Number 2. Robert De Niro, Cape Fear. Robert De Niro is not typically one to overact, but he goes for broke as the vengeful Max Cady in Cape Fear.
And with the power vested me by the kingdom of God, I sent you to the ninth circle of hell!
After Max gets out of prison, he begins stalking his old lawyer, Sam Bowden. Max takes great glee in tormenting his old attorney, and De Niro is clearly enjoying the opportunity to play such a fun character.
It's not necessary to lay a foul tongue on me, my friend. I could get upset. Things could get out of hand.
He's excellent throughout the film, blending camp and genuine terror into a unique concoction that is hard to pin down. He even speaks in tongues as he drowns. This could have been a disaster in the wrong hands, but De Niro makes it work.
Jordan Snowman backs us down. Oh, who will come with me? I'm bound for the promised land. I'm bound for the promised land.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Jack Nicholson, The Shining. No one plays crazy like Jack Nicholson, and The Shining is his masterpiece in that regard.
You didn't let me finish my sentence. I said, I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains in.
Jack Torrance slowly loses his mind throughout the film thanks to the influence of the haunted Overlook Hotel. There were signs, however, from the beginning. He can barely stand the company of his own family, and he eventually descends into the type of full-on madness that only Nicholson can portray.
Then I'll huff, and I'll puff, and I'll blow your house in.
His angry outbursts make for some of the most iconic scenes in movie history, with Nicholson hamming it up to an almost comedic degree. It's undoubtedly over the top, but we wouldn't have it any other way.
Do you feel bad?
No. So tired.
Tell us as dramatically as possible in the comments. Tell us as dramatically as possible in the comments. I don't know why I can't get that tone of that right. Anyway, here we go.